May 9, 2018, I had lump in my breast. Yes, and I was operated upon, thinking that was the solution, not knowing that that was something that would come to another thing. And then after that, what they removed from my breast was tested, and they said it was cancer. And before I knew what was happening, the breast became bigger and then became very hard. And I didn't really know what to do, because I've been hearing of cancer patients, and I've been hearing of so many things about what happened to them. And I was scared, but I held on to God, because I believe it is only God that can heal me. So as time goes on, it got to a stage I was now feeling somehow. I could not stand again. I could not walk again. And before I knew what was happening, I found myself in an hospital far in Oyo State. If I've never been to that place before. And on getting to that hospital, they were wheeling me about in a wheelchair. I could not stand, not talk of walking again. While I was in the hospital, a friend to my, let me say to the family, who is in the US, now sent a message to my husband that he should go and meet somebody, that they are going to give me something while in the hospital, that he should start using it for me. And before I knew what was happening, at the start of their medication at that hospital, they have already given me a dose of chemotherapy. As I'm standing before you, I took 3 doses. And when my brother was talking the other time, I was just nodding my head. Chemotherapy really is a killer. That is the truth. It's a killer. In fact, the medical practitioners, I don't know, that's the way they were trained anyway. They believed with chemotherapy they are helping people. But it is that chemotherapy that is actually pushing them to their early graves. That's the truth. After the second chemo, because I was still with them at the hospital, there is nothing I could do. I could not run away. Even they said, because when they checked me, they said I should go for chest X-ray. And when they did the X-ray, they said my cardiac cavity was filled with a kind of a fluid. And then they did another surgery on my side here. They passed a tube to my lungs. And if I what busted out, I didn't believe it. I'm standing before you to the glory of God anyway. Now, after the second dose of that chemotherapy, I became something else. I was not myself again. In fact, I knew what they call depression. Yes, I have been hearing it. I've heard messages on depression. But I can tell you that chemotherapy brings about depression in human beings. I was not myself again. I could not do anything of my own. If I was taken to one of my sister's place who was taking care of me, but I told my husband, I will not stop using this thing. So I continued. Unfortunately for me, the first part of this of the STC, I used it wrongly, because I didn't really see somebody that will explain to me like that. But later on, when I was discharged from the hospital, I told my husband, I said, that man that you went to that gave you this thing, I want to see him. I said, call him, I will manage myself, I want to see him by myself. So I made up my mind, and I saw him. Thank God he's here today. I was even worried when I didn't see him, and it was about my time to share the testimony. I was telling him that it's about my time, I want you to be here when I will be sharing it. So he encouraged me that day that I should just keep on using the product. By the grace of God, I have used 5 packs of this product. And to the glory of God, honestly, something has graduated to the level that something swelled up in my armpit. And before I was taken to that particular hospital, I went to meet a doctor who is, because I'm a redeemed member by the grace of God, and that particular doctor too we are workers in the Redeem. He has an hospital, and he told me that they were going to remove the breast, and after removing the breast, they will remove that particular thing that is under my armpit. And the surgeon that was to do it, the man was now telling me if it will not be difficult, that is when they will remove the one under my armpit. And even if they remove the breast and they didn't remove that one, it's as if they have not done anything. I was now asking myself, I said, God, what is this man telling me? Even with what he's saying, he's not really sure. I said, will they now use my life to perform experiment? I said, God, no way. You are going to direct me, and I know you will perfect everything that concerns me. And to the glory of God, when I came in contact with STC, as I'm talking to you now, there is nothing under my hand. There is nothing. I did not go through any of my breast is still there. If you saw me then, nobody will tell you before you know that something was wrong with this particular breast. It's my left breast. It was bigger than the other one. To the glory of God, the breast has come down. It's becoming softer on a daily basis by the grace of God. And the first thing I noticed, I didn't even notice it myself. The first thing I noticed, this particular finger, I don't know what they call this thing, that spoils fungus. That thing was on this particular finger. I just woke up a day after I started using this, and I looked at my fingernail. I said, I called my sister. I said, come and see my fingernail. It's now normal. And the chemotherapy, the stupid chemotherapy they were giving me, it has started giving patches. I'm telling you, sir, I was having patches on my hand because they don't give me on the hand. I took 2 on this hand, 1 on this hand, and it was at 2 weeks interval. I was having patches on my hand already, and now there is nothing like that. Even under the soles of my feet, the 2 feet, if I should remove it, initially before I started, there were patches, black dots all over, but now there is nothing like that. So to the glory of God, I said something. I told my husband, I said this particular product is not just a product. I said that the power of God is behind this product, because it can only be God. There is no one that could have ever done this. Without the power of God that is inside it couldn't have worked. But to the glory of God, and with the power of God that is behind it, it is working. And I know it will continue to work to the glory of God. Thank you very much.